Yeah. So now, from the concept perspective, anyone having any doubt? So now,
Khushi has joined. Khushi left because you are not answering her queries.
apologies for the
No
same.
answer her queries.
Yeah. Okay, Kushi. Now the most important aspect from your side, as you were a bit curious about the financial aspect. Okay. Where in the financial statement all these things will come up. Okay, guys.
This,
Hmm.
ऋषु इसमें अब पकाना मत, तुम 2 घंटा पकाया है, हम सच बोल रहे हैं। अब तुम अच्छे से दिखाओ जल्दी फटाफट।
Okay. Okay, guys. So now moving into the HUL's financial. Okay, this employee benefit plans thing, as we know, there are two types of plans.
ऋषु थोड़ा वॉइस ठीक कर लेना यार, थोड़ा धीमा आ रहा
Okay.
है।
Okay. Now.
हाँ अब ठीक है, अब ठीक है।
Okay. So this particular note talks about employee benefit plans. As we know, there could be two types of plan. One is contribution plan, one is benefit plan. We have already discussed on this. Like in contribution plan, you are done once you have contributed, there is no liability. Whereas in defined benefit plan, there's a risk lying with the employer. Okay. Now they have description mentioned the description of the plan. Retirement benefit plans of the company include gratuity.
ऋषु ऋषु एक चीज ऐड ऐड
Hmm?
एक चीज बोल रहा
Mhm.
हूँ। मैं सिर्फ यही बोल रहा हूँ गाइज, ये अभी ऋषु जो भी आप बता रहे हो, अभी आप बताओगे तो इसमें ये नोट्स वाला पार्ट भी ऑडिटर को पूरा चेक करना पड़ता है, इसलिए हम लोग इसको बता रहे हैं, राइट? मतलब ये
And
पूरा लैंग्वेज उसको स्टडी
and
करना पड़ता है।
exactly, but
हाँ
this is the best literature. Like instead of
हाँ हाँ
reading
हाँ।
the standards, read out the annual reports. You'll definitely will be a very knowledgeable person. Trust me, you'll having good
हाँ
experience. Okay. And
ये वाला पार्ट में ऋषु मैं यही बोल रहा था कि मतलब जो भी आप दिखा रहे हो, अभी दिखाओगे, ये सारा पूरा नोट्स हम लोग को ऑडिटर को पढ़ना पड़ता है, चेक करना पड़ता है सारा कुछ ठीक से डिस्क्लोज किया है कि नहीं। आने वाले में जो आप फिगर्स विगर्स दिखाओगे, एम्प्लॉय बेनिफिट, फाइनेंस कोड, बस उसको थोड़ा सा ट्विकिंग कर देना, मतलब लिंक कर देना उसको एक्चुअल रिपोर्ट में, मतलब वहां का फिगर यहाँ पर आके तुमको
sure, sure,
दिखेगा,
sure.
मतलब ताकि ये वाला जो हमारा सेशन जो रिकॉर्ड हो, ये पूरा एक तो पूरा सब कुछ को ये
Sure,
कर दे,
sure,
लिंक कर
sure,
दे।
sure.
हाँ ठीक है ऋषि, ठीक
Okay. Now they have talked about the description of plans as to how many plans they have, what all categories of plans they have. First is gratuity, management pension, officers pension, provident fund, other post-employment benefit plans, includes post-retirement medical benefits. Okay, so all these plans they have. Gratuity is funded through investment with an insurance service providers. Okay, so they have insurance with they have bought the insurance policy from LIC or any company you can think of, and company managed trust. So there are two things. One is the trust, one is the insurance service providers. So both are the scenarios. What happens is companies entered into the agreement with the insurance service provider. Look, we'll be paying this amount to you. Whenever our employee will leave, you will have to pay the amount. Okay, so the insurance company gives such policy. Okay, where they take certain contribution from the employer, and whenever the liability comes up, be it on separation, be it on retirement, or any other reason, so they have to pay it back to the employee basically. Then employer is not required to pay back to the employee because ultimately they have what a insurance policy. Okay. Pension, management pension and officer pension for most of the employees is managed through a trust invested within insurance service providers again. And for some employees, investments are managed through company managed trust. So there are again two categories. One is insurance service provider, the other is managed trust. Provident for most of the employees are managed through trust investments, and for some employees through government administered funds. Okay. Post retirement medical benefits for the most employees are managed through investment made in the company managed trust, and some employees through insurance policy. So we can see in all these scenarios they are having two different categories. The governance aspect, Harsh, as you mentioned, the trustees of the trust funds are responsible for overall governance. Okay, so there are some people to oversee all those compliances and all, who basically works in the best benefits of the interest of the plan participants. That is the employees. They are tasked with the periodic reviews of the solvency of the fund, पैसा है भी कि नहीं है, play a role in the long-term investments, risk assessment, and funding strategies. Okay. Investment strategies, again, पैसा कहाँ लगेगा? The company's investment strategy is, in respect to its funding is implemented within the framework of the applicable statutory requirements. So if there is any statutory requirements, as we saw, उसने अपना rule 102 of the income tax act के basis पे अपना पैसा पार्क किया था. Accordingly, इसने भी बोला है कि if there is any applicable statutory requirement, we have done like that. The plan exposes the company to a number of actuarial risks such as investment risk, जहाँ पैसा डाला हो सकता है डूब जाए, इंटरेस्ट रेट रिस्क हो सकता है इंटरेस्ट ऊपर नीचे हो जाए, लॉन्जिविटी रिस्क यहाँ पे क्यों आया? इन दैट केस वी वर नॉट हैविंग लॉन्जिविटी रिस्क बिकॉज वहाँ पे आपको इंडिविजुअल की डेथ से कोई रिलेशन नहीं था, ग्रेजुटी पेबल था. यहाँ पे पेंशन भी है विच हैज़ इम्पैक्ट. यहाँ पे मेडिकल बेनिफिट भी है, जब तक आदमी आपका एम्प्लॉय जिंदा रहेगा तब तक आप उसको मेडिकल बेनिफिट दोगे, दैट इज व्हाट ऑल कवर्ड ओवर हियर. इन्फ्लेशन रिस्क है, as Harsh has mentioned. So in one of the discussion, though the context was different, but yeah, inflation risk है आपका. The company has developed policy guidelines for allocation of the assets to different classes of the assets. So this is what they are saying कि उसका पूरा policies बना हुआ है and accordingly होता है. और उसके बाद then balance sheet aspect. So this we have seen. This is nothing. This is coming the same way that was flowing to our that report. That is your opening present obligation, fair value of the plan assets, net asset or liability in the balance sheet. In this case, again, the liability is on the higher side as compared to the assets. So obviously there's a liability thing. Okay, in all the years there's a liability. So very rarely you'll be seeing net assets, and then that question of asset ceiling will come in. Okay, so as of now there's no question of that. Then they have seen of which respects to funded plans in surplus. Okay, so they are saying over here. Now you can see over here you can see the asset ceiling thing. They are saying present value of the obligation is 133 and the fair value of the plan asset is 194. Asset liability recognized in the balance sheet. They are saying nil. Why they are saying nil? Are you getting the asset or excess of the asset liability in respect of officer's pension and gratuity plan have not been recognized because those excess must be related to whom? Guys, to whom?
Employees.
Exactly. So it relates to employees. That is why they have not recognized. So you guys saw the implication of asset ceiling also. Okay. Funded plans in deficit. So they have categorized plans into different categories. One, this was the whole scenario. This was the overall picture. They have split it into the two categories. That is the funds which are having surplus, which are and the funds which are having deficits. And in case of deficit, they are saying this is the deficit scenario. And ultimately, when you will add up these two categories of the funds, obviously you'll reach out to the total of it. Okay. So we are seeing that whatever surplus was there, they have not recognized even a single penny of it. Are you getting my point, guys? So that is what the asset ceiling concept is. Okay, unfunded plans in deficit. So there is no unfunded plans. So obviously, in this case, earlier there was unfunded plans. So obviously there will be only liability. When a plan is unfunded, obviously your fair value of the plan asset won't be coming. That is why it is coming out to be zero. The year when it was there, okay, in the current year itself, that is lying under the other employee post benefit employee benefits. So this is unfunded and there is no funding status. Accordingly, the plan value won't be there. The only the liability would be there. So this is the whole scenario. Anyone having any doubt on this note, basically? Guys, anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So I'll show you guys in the balance sheet. It will be coming out this 189 and 59 in totality. Okay, this must be like current non-current part will be there. Obviously, that we'll see. Okay, moving further.
Sir, sir, sir,
Hmm,
can you scroll back to that table?
sure.
So the amount is 59 is coming liability recognized in the balance sheet, and
Yeah.
you can scroll just little down, little bit down,
Mm-hmm. Little
a
top.
little bit down,
Oh.
down, down.
Hmm. Yeah, please tell.
And the amount of 59 which is coming above unfunded plan in deficit, those both amount are same only, na?
Yeah.
Recognized in
Basically,
the balance.
this 59 is total of this, and this. Okay, this is the total picture, and which they have split it. That is why they are saying now of which in respect of. Okay, of this total, these are the three different categories. So these total, when you'll do the total of these subtotals, obviously you'll reach out to this total. Okay, this is nothing but the split of the above amount. Okay. Yeah. Moving further, now they have talked about the movement in the present value obligation and fair value plan assets. What has happened? Look, plan assets, the opening balance was this. Okay. Employee contributed fresh amount, interest income. Okay. Actuarial gain losses arising on account of financial assumptions. That is expected return उसने 6% सोचा था. Actual return which I got is 7% for previous year. Okay. So the differential interest will lie over here, not under this category, because this is the assumption number. This will be coming multiply, if you will multiply the interest rate with this amount will be coming. Okay. But in the past year also, you must have assumed 6% or 7%, but actually you got more interest. Obviously, in that case, that will qualify under actuarial gains and losses. And this 20 rupees is on account of that only. Okay. Then this was interest income, employee contribution. Okay, employees are also contributing, and employer contribution is there. And then net asset acquired and settled. So this settled is something basically where they have entered into some settlement arrangements with the employees. It happens basically when you come up with some negotiation plans are done with the management, between the management and the union, and they come up with certain amount they have to settle. Okay, some settlements happens basically when you are selling off certain plants, or certain union people are seeking that they won't continue. So accordingly they have to settle the amount basis the settlement agreement, and accordingly that amount comes over here. Then they are saying benefits paid, and this is the benefit paid. Ultimately this is your net closing asset. Okay, similarly this movement for plan value obligations they have computed, that is your opening balance, past service cost. Why this is coming over here? Earlier it was not there. So past service cost as, sorry, current service cost is there. Okay, sorry. This is something for one additional year you have worked, accordingly you will be getting that amount. Past service cost is something basically due to some changes in the plan. Okay, say earlier the plan was giving of 12% benefit. Now the company has increased to it 13%. So obviously 1% for the previous year also has to increase. So accordingly that 1% of the previous years coming out to be total of 5. That is what they have taken over here. So any plan which is impacting your previous year recognition, previous year liability recognition, that qualifies under the past service cost. Then accordingly your employee contribution for the current year is being added. Interest cost is something which you'll multiply with the opening balance and you'll get it. Actual gains losses we have already seen what could be the scenarios. This is on account of financial assumptions, this is on account of experience assumptions, experience adjustments, sorry. And moving further, then asset acquired and settled, the settlement obviously will come over here. And this payment we have already seen that in both the scenarios the payment will be same. So this is how the movement is being captured over here. Anyone having any doubt on this? Okay. Moving further, now this talks about what to say. Okay, that is continued further. Now they are getting into some business combination thing, so they must have bought some entities, and accordingly their asset and liability they have assumed, and that is why their contribution, their asset ceiling, and everything is being captured over here. Okay, this is on account of the business combination aspect. So ultimately, your own amount plus the entities which you have bought in the current year, their liability you are adding, and total liability is coming like this. Okay, that is what they have mentioned over here. Okay guys, hello.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Then statement of profit and loss, this we have already seen. Now this is where the profit and loss will be classified, we'll be seeing over here. As we were talking about the employee benefit expenses in the P&L, there are major categories of expenses like your cost of goods sold and all, then your employee benefit cost, then your depreciation, then your finance cost, then other expenses. So the current service cost and the past service cost, the service costs are marked categorized under your employee benefit expenses, whereas interest cost, as we were discussing earlier, is parked under the finance cost. Mostly company does like this, whereas some companies are following the practice where they are keeping this under the employee benefit expenses only. That total amount is lying over here. Okay, guys. So this will be the net impact on the P&L. This we have already seen in our report also. Moving further, the OCI part of it, actuarial gains and losses is coming over there. Okay. Then actuarial gains and losses on assumptions, financial change assumption, demographic assumptions, and experience assumptions. All these numbers must be flowing from the top tables. Then change in the asset ceiling, gains and losses. So whenever there is any change in the asset ceiling aspect, so as we were seeing, whatever surplus was coming, they were recognizing it. They were recognizing the whole of it as a asset ceiling amount. So accordingly, every year, whenever there'll be addition to that amount, obviously that will be coming. So that will have impact over here. That asset ceiling is also parked in the OCI component aspect, not in the P&L aspect. Obviously, because if you have to restrict certain asset, then you have to pass an entry, and that is what will be coming over here. And net impact on the OCI is computed after these elements. This is how the financials basically looks like for a company basically. Okay. Aman, should we continue like, or what to say?
I think so. We can wrap it up for today, Rishu.
Because it's almost 10 and So
exactly.
nothing more has left in this. Almost every aspect is covered.
The
So
major part of disclosing where we should disclose the
yeah,
items, we
give me a
have
second.
shown it also. Like,
Mm-hmm. Give me a second. Even in the balance sheet.
balance sheet. Just show the balance sheet part is also one.
Give me a second. I'm
Balance
just
sheet.
scrolling to that aspect.
I think so. You can just cover the balance sheet part and then we can wrap.
Look, in the employee benefit expenses, that past year cost and current year cost must be reflecting. In finance cost, the interest cost, net interest cost must be reflecting. Okay, guys. And in OCI also, you could see in OCI remeasurement of the defined benefit plans. This is what is coming. Then remeasurement of net defined benefit plans again. So you'll be having this these numbers. Okay, this is the tax amount on it. This 3 rupees, the tax on it. So basically, we know the effective tax is somewhat like 30% or something. So it is like 1/3 of the total amount. So this is the thing. Then fair value debt instrument is nothing has to do. So this whole fair value, the OCI amount is lying over here. So you'll see in the note it was coming net at 3. So that is what is flowing over here in the financials. Now moving on to the balance sheet part. In the balance sheet part over here, you can't see. For that, we'll have to go down only, Aman. 9D we'll have to go. Give me no, not 9D. In provisions 20. Note number 20 we'll have to go. Give me a second. I'm scrolling it down. $14. Yeah, over here. In note number 20, non-current provision and current provision. As I told, this amount will be classified under two different categories, current and non-current. So the provision for employee benefit, pension, post benefit, everything is like they have mentioned 220, the net provision on account of the actuarial valuation. And they have referred note number 38, which is the detailed note on the whole computation or all the disclosure as to the fair value assets, the present value obligation sensitivity analysis, the composition of the assets, everything is mentioned in the note number 38. And the other part is the current portion of that liability which they have mentioned. So in the actuarial certificate, the current and non-current portion is also given, is also shared by the actuary. I'm not pretty sure why in this report it was not mentioned, but usually it is mentioned, but the split is given between current and non-current aspect. And over here again you can see the note number 38 is referred, which is again the detailed note. So this is how the presentation is given in the financials. That is the whole thing. So anyone having any doubts, we'll take doubts and then we can wrap it up.
In this case, there is no asset, net defined asset or liability ratio.
No, basically your liability is coming in the net position. If you'll go in the notes,
Liability is coming in the net
so that
position.
is why
Yes, yes.
ultimately only liability will be showing now. You can't show
Okay,
asset and
okay.
liability both.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay, okay.
In case no one is having any doubt, then we can wrap it up, I believe.
Yes, Rishu, I think so. We can wrap it up.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time. Hope we made some contribution to your learnings and understanding. So, yep, please support us like this, and hopefully we'll be giving some more interesting sessions up in the upcoming sessions with us in the upcoming weeks. So, yeah, till then, bye bye. Keep
Thank you, sir,
yourself
for
safe. And
organizing this session. It was really informative.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you,
guys.
Rishu.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Aman.
much.
Thanks, Harsh. Yeah, thanks to all. Okay.
Thank you.